Hey guys, welcome to the All Balls channel and a brand new segment on the Hero Indian Super League. I have with me my teammates Carl and Kyle. How's it going, boys?
Good, man. Happy to be talking about the ISL, start of a new season. Lots to talk about, in fact. So, yeah, but glad to be here.
And KP,
Good to
our
be
main
here. Good
man.
to be
How's it
here.
going?
Good. Great weekend of games, high scoring games of this.
Great weekend. Let's get straight to it. Carl, starting with ATK Mohan Bagan versus Kerala Blasters.
Yeah,
Started off on probably, a 50-50 game, but I think Mohan Bagan stole it.
yeah, I mean, Mohan Bagan kind of looked the more kind of in charge team, even though Kerala Blasters have their chances and stuff like that. But of course, they seemed like they had more control over the game. Fair credit to Kerala Blasters, though. They were able to salvage 2 goals out of it. But it's that, I mean, for me, I think ATK are definitely the favorites for me for this league. But I mean, it's just the first couple of games. But the way they played, especially with that island boy over there, I hate to say the word island boy, but yeah, Mr. Roy Krishnan up front, who's quite the dangerous person up front and probably gives defenders nightmares every time he's there. So it looks like a pretty decent run for the ATK Mohun Bagan team.
And Capes, speaking of Roy Krishna, involved in 43 of 72 goals in the last couple of
Mhm.
seasons, but he wasn't the only factor over there. There was a certain magician they call Hugo Bumu who ran the show. What's your verdict on him?
Hugo, I've been saying since the beginning of this league that Hugo Bumu is a game changer. I mean, if you see the team that Habas has put together with the likes of Liston Kolako, let's not forget his goal. Hugo Bumu, Johnny Kukau, Amrinder Singh. That's a star-studded lineup right there. Like you can't go wrong with that. That's like the best players from like a Hyderabad, best player from Mumbai City. So there was no stopping them. And from what I hear, that they didn't even have a preseason. Their coach Habas decided not have a preseason and play 11v11 versus his entire squad so that he would get the best out of each player. So I mean, they played an under 23 defender and Tangri, and you thought he was like a over 25-year-old. He was so confident in the back. He was so lethal. He was so. The only thing I think that they got broken down was the Rahul KP to Sahal goal. That Sahal goal was really good. It was a really good playthrough but unfortunate that immediately after that Rahul KP had to be taken off, and now he's probably out for 2 to 3 weeks. But he should be back soon.
But if you look at the game on a whole, it was Kerala who was only, playing probably not, can't even say on the counter, but they were only winning the second balls and taking shots from a distance. It was Mohan Bagan who was doing all the running, creating all the chances. Krishna obviously running in behind. There was a part in commentary where he said that this man just does not stop. It's been 2 seasons and he does not stop running. He does not give up the ball. Also dangerous from set pieces. Now another stat that will make KP happy is that 41% of their goals last season came from set pieces. And then
Yeah.
to top it all, that wonder finish for the fourth goal,
Oh,
where
yeah.
I want to judge the commentary where it said Golasso by Golasso, but it wasn't the case. But that was something, to just have the ability to stand there and curl it like he
Mm,
did into the top corner, gave the keeper no chance.
no chance. No chance. Absolutely no
And
chance.
and
But Carl, I'm sure you would think that represented somewhat like an Ashwin goal from outside the box. Nothing was taken. Like a top
Well,
curler, top notch.
well, I do know that Liston Colasso is kind of he's Marco Stankovic, who's also a friend of the show, favorite player in the ISL. So we always knew he was kind of destined for greatness. After Marco also said that he was the best player that he's ever played alongside in the ISL. So I mean that finish though, it's sublime. It's as you said, it is Premier League esque as well. So again, it's ATK Mohan Bagan, just trudging forward.
Hmm.
And it's good to hear Premier League guys, because we've been talking about the Premier League for a long time. This is the first time we're doing the ISL. And it makes you happy to see the quality of goals that are going in. Like you mentioned, friends of the show, lots coming up, in our next few games. But
Mm.
a bright start to the ISL. And
Very good
again,
start.
going forward, continued into the Bangalore versus the Northeast game,
Mm.
where again Bangalore were just too good for the Northeast. Carl.
Well, I mean, 69% possession. They had the lion's share of the ball, and they kind of just ran the roost to them. And again, it's that enigma that is Sunil Chetri also was up front. Just as we spoke about Roy Krishna as well, that he can do, damage up front and he's dangerous. Sunil Chetri is another man. He's evergreen who somehow at his age can just give you trouble, whether you like it or not. You can't keep him quiet at some point or the other. So gotta give credit though. They played really well. And again, another high scoring match. So I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
And Gibbs, before we get to Sunil Chetri and Clayton Silva, I want you to take me through that own goal. There was
was only telling them, counter them, counter them, counter them, counter them. But because of a player in Alan Costa, he's a big lad, he's a big Brazilian. He can be able to control the entire defense line. And obviously, with right in front of him is Udanta and our friend of the show, Jayesh, who also produced a really good goal on the day. But it was more that Northeast wanted to do wanted to counter, but because of the strength in a Gurpreet in goal, Alan Costa behind him, Musawar Singh in front of him, they could stop this entire play. It was a high-scoring game, so I'm not gonna subdue that Northeast couldn't score more goals. They could have definitely, but it was because of these few key people that this is what happened.
and Bangalore did have their fair share of bad luck in the next game, which we will come to. But Carl, since we have you back, friend of the show, your friend Jayesh Rane, great strike.
Great strike, man. And again, I mean, he's just showing what he's made of, and he's showing the previous team that had him also what he's made of. So again, he's trying to prove his doubters wrong. I was really happy. I was kind of chuffed that he actually scored. I was really happy. I was like, hey, I spoke to that guy before and I've interviewed him. So it made me feel really nice that he was like on the score sheet. But yeah, it was a very entertaining game. And then, in all honesty, gentlemen, I want to put a question to you though. I mean, Khalid Jamil is a fantastic coach and manager, but do you think it's going to be an uphill task for Northeast United this season? I know it's just at the start of the season, but it does seem like it's going to take a while for Khalid Jamil to get his squad blending.
I mean, considering that it was the first game, yes, it's going to take a while. And also looking at the other teams go like they did in their first game, Mohan Bagan, Mumbai City, for example. But I still think, it's a long way. So probably exciting, yes, because they play a certain style of football that you can watch, even if they're down. They do not, they were still distributing the ball like they were in the first half, even after going down. So I think that's a plus point there, which they can pick up from. So yeah, I mean, it's something to look forward to.
But see, Khalid Jamil is that manager that doesn't let you sleep on it. He's not that one to sit down and keep quiet. He's on that touchline. If it was up to him, he'd be past the touchline on the field screaming at the players. He'd be like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. He's one of those coaches. I mean, even if you've seen his stats, his expected goals for his team was 1.6. That is a 26% higher than than Bangaluru's expected goals. He had more shots on against their goals. The only thing that he defaulted for was the amount of accurate passes and the pass success rate. That's it. Everything else was in his favor. Everything else was in his favor.
Gibbs, when you going with all of these stats now, are we seeing you in the dugout in the next game?
I'll be the 12th man, whatever this new conspiracy is of the 12th man.
Yeah.
Okay, and on that very sad note, we are going to go to probably the saddest game of our segment, which was East Bengal versus Jamshedpur. Like said in commentary, game of centre backs. One goal from here, one goal from there. And possibly the rest of it was fairly stalemate in the center of the park. Gibbs?
Yeah, it kind of was, to be honest, because it was more, I would say, you're saying it was a centre back game. Yeah, they both scored, but I feel like it was more of a goalkeeping game because, the Chiku had a few chances, but TP in goal for the Chennaiyin just pulled out some incredible saves if you actually go to see.
He was just doing TP.
Yeah, I don't. But I mean, all credit to Peter Hartley for being there in the right place, the right time. I feel like Owen Coyle for Jamshedpur, he kind of took too long to bring on a Jordan Murray, too long to bring on Ishan Pandita. So it took more time than expected to actually get the game going. Because once they came on together in that 4-3-3, they played two attackers up front and one right behind them. That was what was going for them. So I think Owen Coyle should look at this for the next game moving forward. I mean, same with East Bengal. They're kind of a new team, so you can't really count any chickens
Hmm.
before they hatch with them.
Yeah, and it was pretty much, that was that to the game. But
Hmm.
Carl said something earlier, and I'm going to pick up on that, which is showing the previous team what he can do. Now,
Yeah.
coming to Mumbai City FC versus Goa FC, while I live in Mumbai, but I love Goa because, I have friends that are
Same here.
part of
I'm
that.
conflicted, just like you, Rahul. I'm
Yes,
conflicted.
but to the cleaners in the first half, matter of 3 minutes, just a burst of energy, that penalty, which he walked up to as if he was going to probably pick it up and throw it in with his hands. But it
Hmm.
ended up in the top corner. And then that finish from the outside of the foot from, the edge of the box. That just killed the game right there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as I mentioned, I talk about evergreen forwards, and again, Igor Angulo as well is just one of those guys as well who's just probably peaking. I think Goa is probably going to rue the fact that he left when he came to Mumbai. But I had a lot of questions for Mumbai this season, if I be honest. Like I honestly kind of went like they're letting Boomo go, they're letting other players go, and I was just like, even the manager left, and they bought in Cunningham, and I was just like, is this what champions do? Are they sure that they're ready? But they proved me wrong completely. They blew me out of the park in this performance. I was expecting a lot more from FC Goa, but it didn't seem like
It blew him out of the park so bad that it became plaque. But Capes coming to,
it.
again, I'm going to take you to a funny moment. Tell me that one-on-one chance which hit the post. I mean, that was.
I mean, it was not very funny because it was like, in a scenario, right? Even what Buckingham was saying was that he wants to build on what Sergio Libero has like kind of left to him to it, right? With all these players, all these great players, a winning squad. So what Des was saying is that he wants to build on this, right? Now, when you come to this kind of situation where a Rainier is in front of goal, right? You can't afford to miss it. I know things happen in the spur of a moment, but you can't afford to miss it because if that third goal went in, it takes up the entire momentum of Goa. There is no momentum in Goa.
Hmm.
If you all get the drift of what I'm saying, like if you kill the game off in the first half, we all know if you kill the game off in the first half, there is no second half. You are just playing for fun after that. So I think that's where it stands out from the good versus the great teams. Like if an like for example, even in 80K, right? They just kept going and going and going. Even Bumu giving that the keeper the eyes and scoring that goal. These are the things that make a difference. But I mean, on the day, I think it was the midfield maestro of Jahu. He really controlled that midfield. He
Hmm.
really controlled that midfield. And even Igor coming on off the bench, his first touch was a goal. That
First
was
touch, yeah, it was
like
like, that was it. That just
even
summed
the
up the game.
commentary, even the commentator was like nobody was marking him. He had a free header at goal. Like why didn't Dheeraj Singh of Goa say anything to his defenders? Like he had
Hmm.
Gonzalez playing right in front of him. He could have like, instructed to him, Mark Igor, you're the biggest player right now on this pitch. I mean, it's the captain, Edu Bendia, also should have said something because towards the latter half of the game, you could see Edu Bendia was getting really frustrated. He was just trying to,
Hmm.
take long shots, play the ball long. It was not working for them.
Okay. He didn't like that analysis, so he has left us. But I will go on to from this game to Carl, probably a game which I felt the result wasn't fair in
Absolutely.
Hyderabad versus
Yeah.
Chennai. And
Yeah.
while we will come to a friend of the show, couple of friends of the show actually,
Yeah.
who came on, and I really want that jersey because it's gorgeous. Speaking of Sahil, he offered me the Liverpool jersey, but I won the Hyderabad one. But
Yeah.
uh, not a game of two halves. I feel dominated by Hyderabad, but Chennai just took the chance when they had it.
It's a snatch and grab. It's a simple snatch and grab, I think, by Chennai, and I give credit to them because they were kind of resilient. They knew that probably Hyderabad threw the kitchen sink at them. And Bartholomew Ogbeche, I loved him last season in Mumbai, and I honestly was wondering also how did he go from Mumbai to Hyderabad? But he squandered the most amount of chances in this match. Like that first half was just frenetic, and had he just tried to convert at least one or two of them, probably then, yeah, they could have killed the game, but I think they just prolonged it. Then they just kept playing on half chances, half chances. And Chennai was just like, okay, we'll take our time. We'll take our time. We'll buy in and let's just tire them out. The old Muhammad Ali ropey dope, as they like to say. So, and credit to Chennai. They just kind of weighed them down and just said, okay, fine, we'll take our moments and we'll have our opportunities. and they grabbed it. And again, like I said, it's a snatch and grab.
And since we have Caves back, I mean, speaking of Ogbeche, top three scorers in the league should have buried it first half. Probably
Should
cost
have.
Hyderabad the game.
I mean, do you all also agree that Nikhil Pujari in front of goal should have finished that chance? I mean, do you all agree that
True. Yeah.
Akash Mishra with his header from the corner should have put it on target? There are a lot of questions that can be asked, but I know exactly what you are saying in Ogbechi. He needed to put that ball behind the back of the net. He had too many chances in front of goal, and there's only so much that Garcia could have done right behind him. There was only that
Hmm.
much that he could have, that Jao Victor could have done. Even when our friend of the show Sahil Tawala came on, he was put on a bit too late because once they started putting in the tackles, once they started getting in, you could only see that transition happening towards the 80th to 90th minute where they started pushing at them. But by then, Anirudh Thapa's team was just sitting behind. They were just absorbing and absorbing and
Hmm.
absorbing all the pressure because they knew Okpechi's come off. And Joel Chianze is on. So it's not going to make such a big difference. That goal threat is gone out of the way. Because if you see the total shots and chances created was 12 and 9 respectively. They had
Hmm.
361 more passes than you know the Chennaiyin. So it all comes down to, I guess, clinical finishing, if you ask me, in the league.
I wanted to just ask you though, guys, about the penalty though. Do you think it was soft? I mean, do you think?
I don't know.
I
See,
mean,
for
I felt like I was
my
watching with my
first
dad, and my
reaction was
dad was just
VAR.
like he felt it was a bit soft. Like, and I also kind
I
of
mean, now we
agree with
can't
him
go
to an
back to
extent. But
VAR because there is no VAR.
No,
So we
that was
have
my
to
yeah,
first
go with the
reaction. That's what I'm trying to say. That was my first reaction. Even if you look at probably, I think Bengaluru's second goal, there was, I'm not sure if it was Bengaluru, but there was a hint of offside. You know,
mm,
there were goals ruled out because of offside from
yeah,
a free kick. So, I mean, it's a here and there call. You still can't really say if it was, a penalty, not a penalty, harsh, soft. I mean, it was given, it was scored with ease, I must say, and they took the 3 points, and Hyderabad probably now need to pick themselves up because they're going up against Mumbai next.
Yeah, that's what I
definitely.
was just gonna say,
So
that they're going
it's
up against
with
Mumbai
this,
next.
if they miss the kind of chances they missed against the Chennai FC, if they miss those against Mumbai, Mumbai will punish them more than
Oh
what
yeah.
Chennai punished them. Considering the fact that they have cruised through, the game, probably playing 11 on 1. I think Glenn Martins was the only person in that game who seemed interested even after 3-0.
Hmm.
But if they do that against Mumbai, Mumbai will punish them.
Absolutely. No, I completely
Absolutely.
And
agree with you.
yeah, and speaking of being punished, Odisha versus Bengaluru, Bengaluru's goalkeeper punished. You've heard the name Javier Hernandez score from inside the box around the world. This one scores from outside the box. And it was as casual as it got. Like, ice cold.
Hmm.
He literally placed it there. He knew it was going in. And it was just a great finish. And I think probably that's where Bangalore kind of shattered because that
Hmm.
was the mistake. They went under pressure and then they conceded the next one again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
I think. Sorry. Go ahead, Kyle. My bad.
no, I was gonna say, like, honestly, what really, really worried me was Gurpreet Singh. That was such a soft clearance. That was
Yeah.
into the path of Hernandez. Like, that was such a soft, like,
Yeah, but
he
Kyle, if you
overtook
notice
he.
also at that time, like again, he kind of knew also. I mean, I remember watching the replay also of that kick that he came in to come and clear it, and he kind of knew like the moment the ball hit the ground, and like he missed hit it or whatever he got in between, and he missed hit it. He just knew like it was like it's going towards the player, and he's just going to be like, yeah, I think I just signed my fate over here. This ball's going in. Like he just knew he's like, this is my mistake, and I take complete ownership of it. Like the moment he kicked that ball. And I think he
Hmm.
realized it because once the ball went in, also like even his defenders also kind of like got around him and said, "Okay, fine, it's a mistake. We move on." But yeah, he did have a nightmare of a match though.
I mean, dude, in all honesty, like we were discussing yesterday, that we think that Odisha may be the dark horses of this time because you see Hector Rojas, he will put in a shift and a half. Same
Mm.
with Andre Cabrera. His goal was sublime, like top draw, like that long ball that came through, and then he just cut inside, back again, then outside again for that finisher. That was something else. That was something else.
I
Do
think
you
with the
agree, though,
quality
Rahul?
that's
They're
I
the
with
dark horses?
no, I don't. I feel that it's too long a tournament for
Hmm.
Odisha to continue considering they finished bottom last season. I probably, again, too early to say, but I just feel the teams that have run away with games have a better chance because in
Hmm.
such tournaments, once you pick up momentum, I think that is what helps you, with the games coming in so quickly. So still a long way to go for Odisha, but Bengaluru, I mean, another worry is that their main man is not on the score sheet yet.
Yeah. I mean, it is
Chennai.
So
something to worry
that
about.
is another worry,
That
and the
was
penalty miss.
so, guys. That was really controversial. If you'll actually go to see, should they have given a re-penalty or should they have let it go?
From what I heard is if the defender gets to the ball first, it is then retaken. If the attacker does, it's not. Now I don't know which book this is written in,
Yeah, I
but
kind of agree with Rahul. This is what even I kind of understood it as well. Like,
no, and they said it during the game as well. So I mean, the same thing happened during one of the Premier League games, which let's not talk about that here. But it did happen in that game, and it was retaken.
yeah.
But then again, there was an attacker that got to the ball first.
Yeah.
So in this case, I don't know why. Like I said, refereeing probably rules need to be set down. But then again, there's a lot of stuff going around. There's a lot of different kind of perspectives, views, rules for that
Hmm.
matter going around. It's different in one game, it's different in the other. So probably give it a couple of games to settle, and then you might just see, decisions being on a standard
Picked up.
level for all the teams. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Capes finally coming to our game tonight. Northeast versus the Kerala Blasters. Both looking to bounce back.
Hmm.
I honestly, it's a tough one to call, but if Khalid Jamil starts all like Flotman and Deshaun Brown and Corrier and the works if he plays, I think he should come out with a win because um Kerala missing Rahul KP, their main man Luna is not. He got an assist the last time, but it was not too good. Same with with Cabra. Cabra got outplayed if you saw by Liston Colasso in the last game. So I would like to see a better backline, someone that because Northeast will go for that counter attack. We've seen it happening. So I would say I give credit to Northeast for this, but they should come out with a win.
But my point is, I don't understand why they don't play their best teams. You're giving me a situation where if he plays this player and if he plays that, even in the Bengaluru game, uh, Clayton had a great game.
Hmm.
He was benched. I don't know why. Probably an injury, but there was no news of that. So I don't understand these chops and
I
changes when it's working for you. Why break something that's broken? That's
I
working.
honestly think it comes down to the fact that again it's a long season. We're just at the start, and I it can bring it down to the fact that either managers are just trying to find the right gel within their players, within the right squad, and see what actually works for them. And especially for a team like Northeast United and Kerala Blasters are coming back from very big losses. I mean, again, it's Khalid Jamil's game to win, but at the same time, look at Kerala Blasters; they also have a point to prove. So when it
Mhm.
comes to, as you just mentioned, about players and whether Clayton was playing or not, and he was benched for the next game. I think it's just about finding that right formula and balance. And I think during the course
No,
of the season, the more it goes, I think they'll know where that balance lies.
No, I agree. I actually agree with Carl. It's more of finding that balance because now with the new rules that have been put into place, you can only have four foreigners playing
Hmm.
on the field at any given amount of time, and you need to have two development players from your youth academy on your bench. So, as a coach, you would need to find that balance of do I want a steady spine? Do I want two
Hmm.
foreign attackers? Do I want two foreign midfielders? Do I want two foreign centre backs? Because what we've seen over the past is some have a good spine from striker, midfielder, and defender. Some
Hmm.
have both centre backs, like we saw with Odisha last night with Hector Rodas and Mongil. They're two good centre back pairings.
Hmm.
Some we saw with like Hyderabad with Jao Victor and and in front of him Garcia. So it's like Carl was saying, you need to find the balance of who you want to play.
Yeah.
And it's a long, long, long season ahead. So you're going to see these faces for a while now. But boys, that was a good one. Thank you for tuning in. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Stay home and stay safe.
Peace.